What's going on, guys? Back with the obstacle series, and I'm riding, this is Benjamin. Benjamin is a 3-year-old quarter horse gelding that is less than 30 days under saddle, and we're out here on the big bad obstacle course. And today we're going to be working on the railroad trusses. The railroad trusses is a set of 4x4s that are spaced out with 2 feet spaces in between them, and there's extra junk around it just to look scary. This is considered a finesse obstacle. A push obstacle is anything that you can go left, right, and have them go in water, bridges, over tarps, over mattresses, things like that. You can just push. You can just left, right, release, left, right, release. This is a finesse obstacle, and this is going to be his first time doing it. We may have to go over sideways and get him calmed down to it. So a push obstacle, we want to see that you can do that from day one of colt starting, that anywhere you point that horse, you can go over any push obstacle. When it comes to a finesse obstacle where they have to place their feet in certain holes or inside tires or on a catwalk or something narrow where they really have to pay attention, it's okay if you can't do that right off the bat. So if you're watching this video, you go try this at home and it doesn't work day one, that's okay. Because on finesse obstacles, they have to already be so confident going forward and so confident to saying yes that they attempt and they try. So notice this railroad tie here is long and narrow. Anytime that I have a long, narrow obstacle and a young horse, I'm always going to try the wide way first. So it's a lot easier to go over a big obstacle than a small one, contrary to popular belief. It's a lot easier to put a horse in a lake than a puddle. And I see people argue a horse to get in a puddle this big, and it just doesn't make sense to the horse. And as the horse person, it takes a lot of communication and great timing to let that horse know, I want 1 foot in this little bitty puddle. Whereas with the big lake, all you have to do is get right up beside it and start turning left pressure, right pressure, left pressure, right pressure. They're going to look for that way out, which is going to be the lake. Again, whenever I'm doing obstacles, I like a natural horsemanship halter. In this case, I have a full cheek snaffle, and I like to have a crop with me so that if I get stuck, I can move his butt a little easier and get the forward. First things first, I'm going to sit back here, give him his face, and see if he'll cross it. Okay, so I got a young colt out, and I really expected him to give me some trouble. The colt starting process is doing good with him because he didn't. So now he went over it nice. So we're going to try to do it the skinny way. Notice how I give him his face and try to give him quiet, subtle reminders. There we go. So he almost made it. He made it a quarter of the way. Like every other time, I'm going to disengage. It's important when you're doing these finesse obstacles that you're looking straight and sitting straight, and that you're not holding their head up. So we're going to roll him back and do that again. So I'm going to sit back on my pockets. I'm looking straight, keeping my hands close to his neck so I can tell him if he's getting off course. So this little guy is doing an awesome job. So this is Shelby's horse. So the other half of the Trixie Chicks that's about to have her baby Willow any day now. This is going to be Willow's pony, and you're seeing it right here, him going through that colt starting process. Really liking that. The reason that he's able to get this on day one, and not all horses can. On finesse obstacles, some horses, especially the more sensitive and hot they are, the more time it takes for finesse obstacles because their mind has to calm down enough for them to place their feet. This guy is just naturally a little slow-minded. I still was expecting him to spook a little bit at it. But do you see how I just try to square and straighten him up, try to keep my body straight so he tracks true? That's really what we want to see. That we'll do railroad tracks. That's just how we'll do the catwalk. That's how we'll do the tier systems that have small, narrow places for them to put their feet. It's showing them, putting stuff there that if they step on it, it feels bad if he steps on the wood. If he steps on the wood and half of his hoof gets there, or he gets on it sideways and it twists his ankles, it makes him feel uncomfortable, and that encourages him to look down. We're here in South Mississippi where it's very flat, and if you live in a flat place, that's okay. But I want this horse to be prepared that if he ever went to or got sold to Colorado or Montana or Wyoming or the mountains or went on a trail up there, that he would be prepared for that terrain. What does prepare for that terrain mean? All that means is he's willing to go anywhere you point him, and that he's willing to pay attention, that he's not going blindly. And a lot of times, especially horses that live in flat, good terrain like this here in South Mississippi, if you don't train them to look down, they won't, because there's no reason to. Everything here is flat. So that's how you're going to help that horse be prepared for any terrain. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.